and welcome to season 2 of the Bad Podcast, Be a Dreamer. इस season में हम बात कर रहे हैं with Instagram influencers, content creators who've literally started from zero and built a loyal following. And today's guest, oh my god, you're gonna love him. अगर आपने कभी भी Google किया है about best credit cards in India, well, he rules that space. We have with us Aly Hajiani, who's going to break down those complex credit cards, and I love his content for that reason, by the way. So let's dive right in. Welcome, Ali. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me, Swati. I'm doing great. You've been an amazing host so far.
So we have a lot of fans of Ali in the office, and आप में से भी काफी लोगों ने बोला that you want him on the podcast. So here we are. So Ali, tell us, who is the guy behind that credit card guy? Who is Ali? Where did you grow up? How did you get into finance?
Yeah, so that's a good question. A little bit about me. I am from Mumbai. I was born in Mumbai.
Born and brought up Mumbai boy.
Born in Mumbai, brought up in Mumbai and a few other places.
Okay.
So when I was 5, my family packed our bags, everything, moved to the US. So I spent about 10 years in the US. Most of my formative schooling years and everything were in the US. And we came back in 2015 or so.
Okay.
Sorry, not 2015. When I was 15 years old, we came back. But so my formative years were primarily in the US. After that, when I came to India, I was in like 10th standard at the time. It was a big cultural change, both from just an ecosystem and a country, as well as a little bit about the schooling system.
Yeah.
It was intimidating to see like the rat
Everyone
race.
was like bored here.
Yeah, bored here, and then like I always wanted to be an engineer, like because I'm an introvert actually. I love sitting in front of the PC and gaming. And I always wanted to be like a game designer who creates fun games and things like that. And for that I had to probably become an engineer. Then I'm like, यहाँ पे तो लोग IIT के लिए 6th standard से पढ़ रहे हैं. I'm already behind. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And I think just that intimidation got the better of me. And then I pursued different things. So your question was, how did you get into finance, things like that. I have a completely unrelated degree. I have studied hotel management.
Oh, so after you came to India, after your studies, you started off with hotel management.
Yeah.
And where was this?
In Mumbai itself.
Mumbai.
Yeah. So I went to this college, ITM in Mumbai. It's a hotel management college.
Okay.
This is 2016, 2017-ish. Spent a couple of years working in a hotel. It was a Marriott hotel called the St. Regis. And that's where I started meeting people, HNIs, UHNIs coming in, swiping their American Express black cards and their fancy metal cards. And then all of these Marriott memberships and things that were happening. For example, there was another big hotel brand called Starwood that got acquired by Marriott. I was working with Marriott during that acquisition. So I learned so much about airlines, hotels, credit cards, just through that entire ecosystem of working with Marriott. And that's where the passion kind of came initially. But that's a little bit about the formative years. And
that's very interesting because you have such an interest in travel and you always give these tips on free hotel stays and flights, and you have actually that hotel background. So it all feeds into each other somewhere.
That's why.
Oh, how interesting. I would have never thought about that.
Yeah, like I will take an economy flight over a business flight, but I will stay in a luxury 5-star hotel because that is a passion for me. I like seeing the back end because I've been on the other side. Yeah, so it's a passion for me. Like that's where a lot of problems occur when I'm traveling with, let's say, family or a partner. A lot of times they want to travel for the destination, but I travel for the hotel. Like, oh, we're going to Bali. It's going to be so great. Oh yeah, there's a great hotel there. And they're like, Ali bas kar, hotel nahi jana.
You're a great combination of someone who's got travel plus that hotel passion, and that's why you plan these. I saw that this reel on your Instagram which has gone crazy where you stayed at a free hotel, right? I mean, a lot of them, but was this one in Bali?
Yeah, this is actually a snippet from where I'm going next year. It's actually, it's called the Banyan Tree Buahan. It's an Accor property.
I've heard about that.
It's one of the best in Bali, right? And most people like to stay at Airbnbs and embrace in the culture of that place. But I really like the feel of these luxury hotels and unlocking these experiences, which I would otherwise not spend money on.
Yeah.
Spending 1 lakh rupees a night for a hotel is unheard of.
Yeah, we all want to do it, but we don't think it's worth it. So
Yeah.
today you want to tell us how we can do it through our credit card,
Yes.
right? Okay, awesome.
That's the topic at hand.
Okay.
And finance has always been something that's been a passion of mine because I come from a business household. When
Yeah.
we were in India, my dad had a business. When we went
Okay.
to America, my dad had a business. So I've always seen
You've seen that,
money
yeah.
coming in, money going
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and how you actually need to,
Yeah.
run and sustain and grow. So
Yeah.
I think that's always been there from a
Yeah.
finance perspective.
Yeah.
Knowing your profit, sales, money, all of that
Yeah,
was always ingrained.
Yeah, and because you've seen it in family, when you are a content creator, you are also thinking कि इसमें को भी business कैसे कुछ करना है side by side, right? Because that's important. Everyone wants money, of course.
Always.
So what happened after hotel management then?
So hotel management was great in the sense I always had a passion for hotels, luxury lifestyle, but always from the outside perspective. Then I realized working at a hotel is not as fun as being a guest.
Yeah.
So in India especially, it's long hours, it's
Yeah.
low pay, it's not the most rewarding job.
Yeah.
And that's where
And sometimes customers are fussy and they don't talk properly also.
and it burns you out
Yeah.
after a while.
Yeah.
Although it was still a passion for me, I was very, very driven or motivated by money.
Achha.
It may sound negative.
No, but
to
that's
be,
great. It's good to be honest about it because in
Yeah.
the end, anyone watching this podcast or everyone actually is
Yeah.
wanting to see how to earn more money.
That was
Yeah.
my biggest, like if I had two choices in life,
Yeah.
okay, do I do A or do I do
Yeah.
B? The most no-brainer concept was, where am I getting more money?
Yeah.
That's not always the right way to go
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
but so far, touch wood, it worked well for me. And the
But that's
reason,
a very blanket statement, right? Because
yeah, it's not
yeah,
to
there
be
are so many
used
other factors
as a
Yeah,
blanket
yeah,
statement.
Yeah.
But there's a reason I used it as a blanket
Yeah,
statement. The reason is ideally because I've seen so much change. When we moved from India to America,
Yeah.
we sold our house, our business, went to America, started a new business. Everything went great. But there was a financial recession in 2008, and that was the year I came back. My dad owned 2 petrol pumps, or gas stations as you call them.
Okay.
And the first thing that happens in a recession
Yeah.
is oil prices go up,
Yeah,
your margins become paper thin,
Yeah.
real estate plummets. We'd bought a house 2 years back. My dad's health wasn't the best, insurance was a problem,
Yeah.
medical in America was bad. And I saw that in the last 10 years of how much money my parents made,
Yeah.
moved into a 7 BHK mansion, $1 million houses, that everything went to zero
God.
in the course of one bad year.
Oh my God.
And that's when I realized that making money is great,
Yeah.
managing money is more important,
Yeah.
and the idea of making sure that you're sustainably growing and getting back to that level was very important for me. So that is where that maybe blanket statement initially comes from, that hey, I need to focus on this.
True,
I need
true.
security for my parents, my family.
Yeah.
So that's
Actually,
where it
when you
came
go
from.
through a tough time and you go through hard times, you realize how important money is. It's not that we're all saying कि कुछ भी गलत कर लो और पैसे कमा लो किसी तरीके से. It's not that. It's about finding those right ways of earning money, but being focused and working hard towards activities that can make you that legitimate money because it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
when I moved industries altogether, and I rekindled my passion for tech or
Okay.
whatever that I was interested in early on. Like I was a gaming nerd. I loved everything tech related, and although I didn't have an engineering degree, I said, what's the next best thing I can do? And I moved into tech sales.
Okay.
So
Tech
I'm like,
sales.
yeah, I'm like, I can sell, I can talk,
Yeah.
right? I know tech, I can talk a
Yeah.
little bit, and I can sell it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of big B2B companies
Yeah.
like your Oracles, your Microsoft. What do? They sell tech software to
Yeah.
big companies.
Yeah.
So I've worked at Autodesk, which is,
Acha.
it's the biggest architecture software. So
Yeah.
your building designs, AutoCAD,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
kind of softwares. I sold that to big companies. I've sold marketing software. I've sold hiring software. I've sold to big companies. I've been in Flipkart's boardroom talking to the directors, closing multi-million-dollar deals.
Wow.
So that's where I kind of switched, and it was hard to get that first switch
Yeah.
because you have to convince that director that hey, a hotel
Yeah,
management
yeah.
student can switch.
Yeah, we're going we're talking about a guy who's moved countries, done hotel management, now gone into tech sales, and sitting in front is actually a content creator. So that last jump is still like something completely different. And while we all know that change is the only constant, it's hard. It's hard to change.
Yeah.
So, you know, you had that strength somehow to be able to do it. So talk to us about that as well.
Yeah, so it's always, like you said, a shift from hotel management to tech.
Yeah.
And tech also had like 3 or 4 different genres
Yeah.
of types of things you're selling to, people you're selling to. And now content creation, and that also finance content creation, where a lot of people look at credibility from like, okay, if you're recommending a mutual fund to me, or if you're giving me finance tip, what is your credibility? Are you a CA? Are you a CFA? Who wants to listen to a hotel management student talk about that? Right? But that's where I did end up finding my niche because of my passion. And fortunately, there is no book to learn how to use a credit card. There is no degree to learn how to use a credit card correctly, but it's so important to know how to use debt instruments like this in a right way. It's a financial instrument. It's an unsecured loan.
So how did you get into credit cards? And I've been wanting to ask this, that how do you come up with that name, that credit card guy? It's so amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And does it actually stop you from doing other things though? So we'll talk about how you started and then we come to this.
Loaded question, like 3 or 4 things. First is, I think you asked me
how you started creating content to start with. Yeah.
How I started creating content, how the name came into play.
Yeah.
So initially, I started creating content for fun on LinkedIn.
Acha,
Like I just used to write about different things on LinkedIn about, you know, like the Access Magnus card or this or that, or how I did it. How I got into this space in the first place, how I found out about credit cards is because I have a frugal mindset in general.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you see those reels or those jokes where people say, use my link, मुझे भी 50 रुपए मिलेगा, तुझे भी 50 रुपए मिलेगा.
That's content karo.
So I've always been like that when, oh, Uber came to India, free ride. अच्छा, मेरे 4 phone number है.
I also feel like that only. That's how we got into Cash Karo as
Correct.
well.
So credit cards is another instrument that gives you reward points, that gives you cash back. So through just a frugal mindset of saving, earning, and all of that, which came from a business household, it's something I always knew. When I got my first credit card, I knew that I'm supposed to pay it back in a month. I'm supposed to not fall into the debt trap. I'm not supposed to let lifestyle inflation hit me. And that came because I'm very thankful to my parents. My mom made sure I got a term insurance at 23. My mom made sure that I used my credit card correctly.
Oh, she had that financial awareness from the start, which is great.
And that financial awareness isn't something she had at the start. It actually came from the US and running businesses to get alone and those kind of things. So I feel like schools don't teach you this. Colleges don't teach you this. You learn how to manage your taxes through hard and fast rules through the CA, things like that. Now there's some YouTube content, courses, but there's no structured way of learning this. I was lucky enough to have parents who guided me through this process.
And it's a great topic because मुझे इतने सारे लोग मिलते हैं who are like इतने सारे credit cards हैं, कौन सा लें? Like we don't know. And उनको बस ऐसे stories मिलती हैं लोगों से कि हमने इतने points इकट्ठे कर लिए कि हमने free business class flight ले ली और free hotel ले ली. And they're like ये कौन लोग हैं, कैसे कर रहे हैं, हम क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हैं? So that's what everybody wants to do, and that's why they watch your content.
Correct. And that's ideally what I'm trying to solve for. I'm trying to make your life easier. Like I get a lot of negative comments on my reels where people are like, all these calculations you're doing, अगर मैं किसी और पे ये ध्यान दूँ, I can earn more money doing that. I'm like, हाँ, please करो. I am doing this for you, so you can do this. Right? So let me do it for you, and that's what I do on Instagram, and that's what doesn't exist today.
So where did the name come from?
So initially when I started my page is 1 year old.
Achha.
Literally exactly
What?
1
Really?
year old.
Your Instagram page, and it has more than 500,000 followers.
600K almost, yeah.
600K.
Yeah.
In
And
1 year.
In 1 year, rather, I'll give you the trajectory and what worked.
Okay.
But
Tune in, guys. This is the main part. 600K followers in 1 year. कैसे हुए ये? कैसे हुए?
So the first thing is my first Instagram name was Financially. Like, you know, you say financially and then Ali is my name.
Okay.
So it's a
Nice
pun
play.
on my name.
Yeah.
Right? I thought I was being very funny. I thought I was being cool. Like, Financially. right? Follow financially.
But वो थोड़ा सा maybe इतना
ऊपर जाता है.
memorability नहीं होगी. हाँ, ज़्यादा सोचना पड़ता है. I imagine you walking into a bar and somebody saying, "Hey, it's that credit card guy," and then you'll be like, "ये नाम अच्छा है, that credit card guy."
That is exactly what happened.
Really?
I got recognized 3 times, 4
Okay.
times when I was even 18, 20K followers
Yeah,
at a
yeah.
lounge or a hotel
Yeah.
because that's where
Yeah,
majority of the audience is. I was 18K followers back in
Yeah.
August.
Okay.
And I went to this JW Marriott hotel in Bangalore.
Yeah.
In that one night I was there, 3 different people came up to me
Yeah.
and told me, "Hey, you're that credit card guy, no?" Hey, you're that credit card guy, no? Like, no
Yeah.
one's saying you're Ali.
Yeah.
No one's saying you're financially.
Yeah, yeah.
People are like, hey, you're that credit
credit
card
card guy.
person, no?
Such a good
I'm
name.
like, okay, cool. Let me just
Yeah,
embrace
yeah,
it because
yeah,
that's what the
yeah.
audience is calling
Sometimes
me.
something that is most obvious is actually what we avoid thinking. कुछ और सोचते हैं ना, इतना obvious थोड़ी ना. लेकिन that is what sticks because it's got memorability and it's catchy.
मैं तो बहुत सोच रहा था. I was like, I want people to know my name.
Yeah.
I want to add my name. I want to
Yeah.
add credit cards. I was like, I want to do credit cards with Ali. Too long.
Yeah.
I'm just going to embrace what is
Yeah,
working.
yeah.
And that was the turning point.
Yeah.
Your name matters so much
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Ah,
It matters a lot. The reason is if you're seeing a reel
yeah,
and you're seeing a reel on credit cards
yeah,
and you see the name at the bottom,
yeah.
no one's going to understand financially is a pun on my name and this
Yeah,
and that,
yeah,
a
yeah.
person who doesn't follow me,
Right.
right? And even if they see financially, they'll say, okay,
Yeah.
another finance influencer,
Yeah.
right? But the moment they see credit card guy,
Yeah.
they don't even need to go to the page to know what kind of content they are going to get. They know that I'm going to get only credit card content. I like
Yeah,
this reel,
yeah.
and the follower count increased massively.
So it's also about picking a niche and then having a name that reflects that niche. And then you create content deep into that, be consistent with it, and that gives you some sort of a formula.
Exactly. And earlier, I feel that over the last 3 or 4 years, it
Yeah.
was more about going wide.
Hmm.
Like I kept the name financially as well because I thought, hey, this will restrict me to only, if I
Yeah.
keep credit card related, it'll only
Yeah.
keep me restricted to credit cards and I
Yeah.
can't talk about finance. But then I just get lost in the crowd because financial influencers are too many already.
Yeah.
So going deeper actually gets me better viewership, gets
Yeah.
me a loyal follower base.
Yeah.
And if, let's say, you talk finance creators, Anushka Rathod, you talk,
Yeah, Nagar.
there's
Yeah.
finance with Sharan,
Yeah.
all of these guys, there's that CA, Sakshi, all of these guys are ranging between 1 to
Yeah.
2.5 million followers,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
I know
Yeah.
that I'm never going to have 2 million followers because
You're so
credit
specific.
cards is such a niche. But my 700K followers
Yeah.
are worth more to me than hitting
No, your
1.5
engagement
to
is
million.
through the roof. I checked
Yeah.
you out a lot in the last day in preparing for this. I was like, wow, this guy, it's very good.
So what works for an Instagram algorithm is number 1, pick a niche that you can go deeper into rather than going wide.
Okay.
Number 2 is educational content works the best.
Yeah.
Look at Sarthak Ahuja. He talks to the camera.
Yeah.
There is not even one B-roll in
Yeah,
there. It's
yeah.
just value.
And he's
You get
good.
2 million followers.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
My content is very
Yeah.
similar in that nature.
Yeah.
I make it simple with some numbers,
Yeah.
but I'm just talking to a camera.
Yeah.
Now look at it from a lifestyle perspective. If you're a lifestyle or a fashion influencer, then you are going on flights, you're wearing luxury clothes, you're doing transitions, you're making your reels. But then is that person, you're getting engagement, but is that
Yeah.
person following you?
Yeah.
Is it translating to a follow? Educational content translates to follows the easiest. Then maybe comedians or comics cause entertainment.
Yeah.
And last, I think, is probably fashion, luxury, lifestyle.
Okay.
So if you're in the fashion, luxury, lifestyle space, it's really hard to grow.
Yeah.
If you have 500K followers as a luxury content creator, kudos to you because it's hard to get follows for that.
Yeah, they happily consume it, but they don't follow. I think picking a niche is really important because I've seen it in my own experience as well that I never wanted to box myself actually at a personal level into one category, and that's why the followership was slower. When I started being consistent with my themes, it actually started increasing more because people know what to expect, and if they like something, then they will follow because they know that you will give them more of that.
Give them that in the name also.
Yeah.
So to your question about do you feel restricted? Initially I did. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy who's just talking in front of the camera
Yeah.
about credit cards.
Yeah.
That's where I want to start. But I can't do that for 3 years. It'll get boring to the audience as well.
Yeah,
I want to be a doer. I want to show you that I'm the credit card guy that's doing things. So now you'll see a lot of hotel reviews.
Yeah.
I want to start reviewing business class seats. I want to do travel vlogging or destinations that I'm using credit card points on.
For, correct,
right? So
correct.
it's going to be credit cards with a mix of luxury and lifestyle, but only from like a hotel and travel perspective.
So let's talk about some specific credit cards. Which one do you recommend for traveling? And what is the best travel experience you've had using these card benefits?
So I've had a lot of great travel experiences, but for the best travel credit card, hands down, according to me, is the Access Atlas card.
Okay.
I can't stop talking about it. There are great cards. There's Infinia, Diners Club Black, ICICI cards, Amex cards.
I use the Infinia also.
Yeah, Infinia is also great, but overall, all-rounder is the Access Atlas for travel.
Okay.
Two reasons. One is for spending. If you're spending on travel, you're spending on hotels and flights, it's giving you extra points. So you're earning points when you earn extra points when you're spending on travel. And second is you redeem the points also for travel experiences. You can book free flights, free hotels, all of those things you can book through the points that you're earning. And Access, by the way, is one of the only brands that has the most travel partners. So if I want to travel Etihad, Emirates, Air Asia, Air India, any airline, I'm not restricted because Access has a partner to transfer points with all of the partners, as compared to Infinia, which has lesser, and there are other brands that only have like one or two, like ICICI only lets you transfer to Air India. Doesn't even have transfer partners. That's why Access Atlas by far is the best.
Interesting. What's one memory, of travel from
like
your?
Memory, abhi isme like a little recency bias comes in. I just booked next week. I am traveling to Hong Kong, Guangzhou in China, and then I'm traveling to Thailand. It's a 15-day trip.
Okay.
The 15-day trip, it's 4 nights at the Mondrian in Hong Kong. 4 nights in the Swiss hotel in China.
Okay.
My flights were via Cathay Pacific.
Okay.
In Bangkok, I'm staying at the Sofitel for 3 nights.
Okay.
In Phuket, I'm staying at the Novotel. In Krabi, I'm staying at the Sofitel. 15 nights in luxury hotels. Revenue rate around 1.9 lakhs for all of these hotels. 1.9 lakhs because Thailand is relatively cheaper. 10-12 hazar mein you get good hotels. All of that was free through points. And if you realize,
I was going to ask you how much did it cost you? I didn't expect it to be zero.
Zero.
Wow.
The food is also free because I pay that in points. And the point conversion, if you realize all of these hotels that I talked about, Mondrian, Sofitel, even if I stay at Banyan Tree, Novotel, Swiss Hotel, all of these are Accor hotels. They come under the Accor umbrella. So whenever I ask somebody, do you know Accor? They say no. But I say, do you know Novotel? So that's where you educate yourself a little bit on hotel brands and you'll realize that there's so many options in the world.
Interesting. You know what's interesting you said is that Access has a lot of travel benefits and partners. Most of us, हम 1-2 कार्ड लेके रुक जाते हैं. हमें लगता है 1-2 कार्ड काफ़ी है. But what I'm sort of realizing is that cards have different benefits for certain categories. So travel करना है तो ये कार्ड लो, shopping करनी है तो इस कार्ड को use करो, groceries के लिए maybe there's a different card. So maybe we can have some of your recommendations for these categories.
Absolutely. So Travel Access Atlas.
Okay.
Grocery. Now again it bifurcates. Grocery आप कहाँ कर रहे हो? Online कर रहे हो? Offline कर रहे हो? Online कर रहे हो तो कहाँ कर रहे हो?
Okay.
So if you're doing online grocery shopping and you're using Big Basket, then get the Tata Neo HDFC card because that gives you 10% cash back on Big Basket. Now Big Basket is relatively cheap in comparison to maybe quick commerce. On top of that, you have offers, discounts, and you get extra points if you use the Tata Neo app. So I get 10% cash back on my online grocery there. If you're using a lot of quick commerce, you do weekly grocery shopping on Instamart or Blinkit. In that case, get the Swiggy HDFC card. That card gives you 10% cash back on food ordering, on Instamart orders. So that's great for that. If you're doing offline shopping, let's say offline, you're going to DMart and you're doing grocery shopping. There's this card called HSBC Live Plus. Right? That gives you 10% cash back on your offline grocery shopping as well. DMart is the cheapest option. People go to DMart for those throwaway rates. Like literally you can save 20% of your shopping by going to DMart. Get another 10% by using this card.
And EarnKaro se jaake, when you apply for these cards, you get extra cash back as well. So you can get even more.
It's an instant loop if you educate yourself and actually do it. when you think about it, you think it's a hassle,
Yeah.
but it's actually not.
It's not.
It's not.
I actually did not get a credit card for the longest time because I was like, Rohan ka and I will use that. But now that I have my own, I'm so much more independent and so much happier because I know that exactly, because you know, all my spends then go through the card. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, abhi Rohan nahi hai, abhi OTP nahi hai, abhi card nahi hai.
Yeah.
Then you know, I keep doing through UPI, and I hate those UPI payments because you don't get anything for them. Whereas if you put that same payment through any card, you're definitely going to get some points.
Oh, that gives me an idea to give you a recommendation
Yeah.
there itself. The best, now UPI you can link with your credit card if
Yes,
you have a RuPay
yes.
card. The best UPI RuPay linked credit card right now is the Yes Bank Kiwi card. It's a virtual card on the
Okay.
Kiwi app. You can
Okay.
directly get that card.
Okay.
I won't go into the specifics,
Yeah.
but honestly, if you can spend 1.5 lakh in a
Yeah.
year
Yeah.
on UPI payments,
I do that, yeah.
yeah, 10,000-12,000 rupees a month.
Ah.
And if you don't want to use a credit card,
Yeah.
let's say you want to keep it simple,
Yeah.
you go out to dine, you go to get a haircut, whatever, you just want to use the UPI
Yeah.
on any of these merchants,
Yeah.
you can get 5% cash back
Oh.
using this card.
Actually, that's why I think the Kiwi card is selling very well on EarnKaro as well. Every day in the marketing meeting, I hear Kiwi, Kiwi, Kiwi. So
There's a lot
that's
of
probably why.
UPI cards, but
Yeah.
none of them are giving 4 and 5% cash back.
Yeah.
Most of them are 1.5-2%. So Kiwi is by
That's
far
amazing.
the best.
So if we talk about people within certain salary ranges, which card would be best for them? So let's say if you are earning less than 50,000 a month, what
Yeah.
would be the best card?
So salaries determine
Yeah.
your eligibility,
Eligibility, yeah.
right? But at the end of the day, your credit card
Yeah.
should be determined by how much you're spending. Now, if you're spending frugally, you don't have a lot of payments, and you're spending
Yeah.
5,000-10,000 rupees a
Yeah.
month, get a free card, just use it for basic benefits. So
Okay.
for this example,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that you spend 40 to 50% of your income. So if you're earning 50,000, 20,000 maybe kharcha hota
Yeah,
hai.
yeah.
So for somebody spending 20,000 rupees,
Yeah.
it's
And you're
still
probably spending at least 35, by the way. People
Sure.
don't save so much nowadays.
Yeah, so if your
Yeah.
spending is, let's say, 50-60%,
Yeah, yeah.
that's 30,000 rupees.
Yeah.
In that case, blanket credit card, like if
Yeah.
I have to give a blanket statement, best card to get is probably a Yes Bank Kiwi card
Okay.
because you're starting off with your journey.
Yeah.
So it's good to start off with this card, use
yeah.
UPI
Yeah.
because that's habit for you,
Yeah.
and then start getting cash back and
Yeah,
move to
yeah.
credit.
Okay.
If you're earning 75-80,000,
Yeah.
then you're probably spending 40-50K a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then get a combination of an SBI cashback card
Yeah.
along with Kiwi card for your UPI payments.
Yeah, I have the SBI cashback also. So I use it
Yeah.
on Amazon, and it gives you 5% cashback on online spends.
It gives you 5%
which
cashback
is
everywhere.
Everywhere, everywhere. Exactly.
Why get a
1%
card?
on offline as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so
but
that's amazing.
offline, use
There's
Kiwi.
A cap. Acha, okay.
Right? That's why you get both.
Ah, yeah.
Use SBI cashback only for online.
Okay.
Now you're going offline. Use your UPI Kiwi card, get 5%
yeah,
there
'cause
also.
you're getting 5% there.
Yes, so that's
Ooh.
why you use both
My
of
own
them.
habit check today,
Yeah.
which is good. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I say both of these
Yeah.
when you're spending a little bit more.
And if you are earning, let's say, 2L a month.
If you're earning 2 lakh a month, maybe you're spending 1 lakh or so.
Yeah.
In that case, the Access Atlas is blanket
best.
card. Yeah,
'Cause
spending
it's got
anywhere.
travel benefits also.
Yeah, travel benefits. You can use it for hotels. You can use it for flights. And somebody earning 2 lakhs is probably
Yeah.
traveling even at least domestically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, going back to your hometown,
Yeah.
going for one vacation.
Or if you're in that 4-5L a month bracket and you're a senior VP somewhere.
Yeah, if you're earning 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, then you're eligible
Yeah.
for the top end cards. Now,
Yeah.
depending on your spend, 3 big guys in the market today: HDFC Infinia,
Yeah.
Axis Magnus Burgundy,
Yeah.
and ICICI Emerald Private.
Okay.
From these 3 cards, depending on your banking relationship,
Yeah,
kahan hai,
yeah.
you should go for them.
Okay.
Now, there are smaller banks like IndusInd, RBL. They also have their premium cards. You can go for those as well. But these 3 are
The main ones.
the best
Okay.
ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of our audience is actually young people. So let's say if a 25-year-old is getting their first credit card, any advice you can give them ki ye mistake mat karna?
I feel that there's a big change in today's generation of people between 20 to 25, where earlier on, I feel like when I was 25, things were a lot more materialistic. Like I wanted the latest MacBook or the iPhone or whatever, and was more materialistic in nature. I feel now people are spending a lot more on experiences, right?
Yes.
And that came because of
Yeah.
after COVID, that revenge tourism happened.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
wanted to do that.
And a lot more of living in the present, making memories. all
Core
the Insta
memories and
reels.
all of that.
Yeah.
But What you just said is absolutely correct. Insta Reels,
Yeah.
Insta content.
Yeah.
Before, you used to buy materialistic items because, sure, 50% you wanted them.
Yeah.
But 50% it is a status symbol.
Yeah.
You want to have that MacBook and work at Starbucks and show the stuff. That 50%, you cannot take that materialism out of people. They want to show their friends that they have this stuff. Today, in the digital age, you can show off or flex your experiences.
Yes,
So yes, I'm saying that people are going for these experiences because they want them, but it's also an Instagram flex.
Yeah.
Earlier it was buying an iPhone on EMI. Today
Yeah.
people are buying concert tickets
Yeah.
on EMI.
And I think traveling on EMI as well. I mean, because we've launched loans on EarnKaro, we see people taking short-term personal loans for travel.
Yeah.
You know, which is like, they're like, look, I'm okay to pay the interest, but here's an experience and I've got my holiday, I want to make the most of it.
That is not wrong.
Yeah.
What you just said is, oh, I won't be 25 forever.
Yeah.
I want to live that experience. My friends are going now. If you're doing that, let's say once a year, or if you're doing it for an exclusive experience, fine. But if you're going to do it for the next Diljit Dosanjh concert, the weekend concert, for a trip with your friends, and buy an iPhone, just because credit is easily accessible today.
Is there an experience that comes to mind for yourself when you got your first credit card and you were like going all out or making any mistake that you...
Fortunately or unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Not for me, because I have been a very frugal person.
Yeah.
And in general, like I said, I was an introvert who used to like gaming at home. So my expenses were negligible. Like I used to go to work, come back, turn on my laptop. My only expense was my Airtel Wi-Fi bill. And I used to live a very frugal life, and I was very happy doing it because gaming made me happy. But a lot of people who have other hobbies, like let's say they like playing a certain sport, or they like going out and traveling, or meeting friends, or drinking and partying, that gets expensive. So luckily I never went through that, because those weren't things that I liked. And when I did kind of expand into becoming more of an ambivert, at that point my income could manage that.
You know, a lot of influencers I've spoken with, they've actually said exactly what you did, that I was an introvert pehle, and then you said ambivert, and then I guess, I don't know if you're coming to extrovert, but how does that happen? Because when you see people creating content, तो लगता है कि ये तो extrovert ही होंगे. So some people think actually हम नहीं ये कर सकते because हमारी personality ऐसी नहीं है. ये लोग तो लगता है कि बहुत social होंगे. So how has that personal journey been of coming in front of the camera, expressing yourself, and do you still feel nervous when you do it?
I still feel nervous. I'm still a camera conscious person.
Really?
A lot of people tell me you don't look it, you seem like...
Yeah,
but
you don't look it. You look very confident.
It happened through conditioning, through sales, when I'm meeting so many people and doing it. And honestly, early on, I used to think that this is not for me, talking to so many people, doing all of this. But then you have to fake it till you make it, and then it just becomes natural. But even when I started creating content, not the easiest for me. I work with Finance with Sharan and the 1% Club. They also helped me create content. Even when I was like, I can't do it, Sharan was like, no, just talk to the camera, you can do it. Like, but then once you start getting a little bit of validation, you feel like, yeah, I can do it.
So when you start doing content creation for a living, you still have to figure out how to earn that living, because we all need it. How do you actually make money? Let's start with that.
I've been making content for about 1 year.
Okay.
I'll again tell you the trajectory in a bit, but I had a job, a stable income for 9 out of those 12 months, and I only took the leap a couple months ago. What gave me a little bit of stability is I have 9 years of corporate experience, so I do have a comfortable saving and investment regime. So that in itself, the returns are healthy, and I know that if all hell breaks loose and negatives happen, I have my safety fund, number one. Number two is, so stock market gains, income, mutual funds, your passive gains is one piece. Now from an active income perspective, first is I run a masterclass with the 1% Club and Sharan.
How interesting. What about?
Where we charge a very nominal fee and teach people about how to use a credit card. The audience we target here are your 20 to 25-year-old people who are getting into credit and I found it so surprising when I started doing this a year ago. I was like, is there a market for this? Do people even care? And I realized that so much of India is misinformed about...
डर लगता है लोगों को credit card से.
It's such a polarizing topic. People who know how to use it love it. And then there's so many haters who say this is a debt trap, this is literally killing the economy, interest income is terrible.
Yeah, so when I meet people, sometimes they're scared of cards. So I tell them my own experience that it's absolutely okay. You don't have to think, I mean, this is the way to actually leverage, right? So explain the concept of leverage. But I think a lot of people are not able to get on the points bandwagon as well, because it's like,
it's complex.
kahan use kare usko, kahan use kare is an issue, which actually you're also solving through one of your products, right?
Yeah, so first is passive income, second is the masterclass revenue, third is brand deals, where if a brand comes up to me and wants to promote their product, I'll also tell you how I balance that with trust. But then the fourth is affiliate income, where I work with you extensively on affiliate income through my links, where if someone applies through my link, they get a benefit. Maybe it's approved faster or the processing link goes faster. And at the same time, I've taught you how to do it. So, and I make the process easier.
I mean, the credit card companies that we work with, we charge them commission for every lead because they are actually paying much more than this on Google and Meta.
Correct.
What we're charging them actually is much lesser.
Yeah.
And whatever commission that we get, that is what we would share with creators like yourselves who are actually using affiliate links. And in the end, you also need to monetize your recommendations.
Yeah.
Because we know how much it takes for creators to create content, put it out there, do the research. Someone has to pay for it.
Yeah.
And we are only charging performance actually. Sale aati hai, so we get paid, both me and you, right?
Yeah.
So we're not charging for any traffic.
Yeah,
right?
and affiliate income is a big one for us. And that's like 3 or 4 monetization streams. I've left my job recently, so I'm starting a new company in the credit card space.
Okay.
I'm launching a new course for an advanced course for people who know about credit cards but don't know how to redeem the points. So it's an Air Miles course, Air Miles and Loyalty Program course. Then we have consultations where we teach people on which credit cards one-on-one, because what I found out in the gap of our current learning model is that people have unique scenarios. Hey, I'm getting married next year. Can you help me with that expense? Hey, I have to buy a car. Hey, I don't have so much shopping expense. I have insurance and utilities expense. So one-on-one consultations where we help them optimize their spend, utilize their card points, a concierge service where we'll do it for you.
I feel like I should do a one-on-one with you and optimize all my spends, and we can use that as a case study for others.
So we can do that. Just the concierge service. Just tell me, Ali, I want to go business. This is the card I have. Tell me what to do. I'll get it done.
Okay.
So that launches in a bit, in about 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll figure out what is working there.
Yeah. What about trust?
Trust is honestly my number one priority. I think my only differentiator from a bank salesperson pushing his own card is that you can trust me because I will sell you what's right to you. I don't care if my commission is 200 rupees less on this one or more on this one, because if that trust breaks, that's what kills me, right? Now that's where I have to really manage my brand deals clearly, where let's say there's a brand that I don't believe in or I don't think their product is very good, and they want me to run an ad with them. Sure, I won't say no. I will make sure I put a paid partnership tag. I will talk about their benefits, but a lot of times the marketing team comes up to me and say, hey, can you say we are the best UPI card? Like, no, I will not say you are the best. You want my influence, you want my reach, you want my awareness. I will give that to you. I will get you a few 100,000 views, but we will put a paid partnership tag, and
that's fair.
That's
you're not putting a recommendation, you're getting the awareness out, and that's the difference.
And for the brands that I really like, I don't care how much they're paying me. I want to promote you anyway, because I want to build trust, number one. I want to get the right card for my audience. And if I get a brand deal out of it too, I'd love it.
So our experience at EarnKaro and EarnKaro has been exactly the same, because at EarnKaro we have Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Jio, all the brands, and we give cashback on all of them. So when people ask me ki, which one should I do, I tell them the same thing, that actually I work with everyone. We as EarnKaro are a good marketing partners, one of the biggest marketing partners for all of them. We get commission from all of them. So when we give you advice, we have no incentive to say ye versus ye, because hame sab pe hi hoga, and same for you as well. And interestingly, that's what's happened in EarnKaro as well, that creators are making their own affiliate links for all different sites via EarnKaro and sharing it on their Instagram and being able to monetize that reach. And again, we let them do it for all credit cards.
Correct.
So, whatever serves the purpose, that's what you should do.
Yeah, so I don't need to recommend a specific card to you. That's what makes it easier for me to give you recommendations.
So what people care to know the most is मैं अपना content viral कैसे करूँ. So any tips you have for that?
In the last 1 year, exactly 1 year, I've grown my page to 600,000 followers.
Amazing.
And the first 6 to 9 months, I got from 0 to 25,000 followers.
Achha.
That's it.
Okay.
If you, what are we at today? April. In December, I was at 20k followers.
Really?
Yes.
You mean this December that just went by?
4 months pehle, I was at 20k followers.
Oh my God.
It took me 6 or 7 months and it took me a long time to realize what is working and what is not working. The biggest problem I had was fear of what people will say. I wanted to be politically correct on every front.
Okay.
For example, if I'm talking about a credit card, I used to say this card gives you 2 points when you spend 100 rupees, but remember you don't have to spend on utilities, this pay you won't get points, this pay you Nobody wants to watch a reel where you're reading the TNCs of a card.
Okay.
And then at the end of that reel, I used to say that now if you spend 5 lakhs on this card, you can get an iPhone for free. Then I was like, wait, this should come first.
You added the hooks at the start.
So the hooks at the start is a common thing that people will tell you. But the fear of what people will say if you're trying to be viral or this or that is what you have to get out of, because honestly, the algorithm works on 20-30 second clips that work. If I tell you, here's how you get a free vacation, and you have to spend 5 lakhs on this card, which is 50k a month, make it quick, make it crisp, put all the other stuff in the caption. That is what works. Now you couple that.
Did you say ideal duration is 25-30 seconds of the reel?
My reels go about 60 seconds. I try to keep them all under 60 seconds because it's educational. If you're in a different category, maybe less than 30. But keep it under 60 seconds if it's educational. Keep the hook extremely strong. After the hook is strong, make it super crisp, clear, and reread that script once to see what can I remove from this and put in the caption. Right? What is not hot? What is not sexy? What is not gonna make somebody's ears pop? Put that in the caption. Next thing is make that hook and that reel relatable. A credit card is not relatable to all, but getting married in the family is related to all. So like one of my biggest reels was how you can make your honeymoon free if you use the right card for your marriage. Even people who don't care about credit cards want a free honeymoon. So I'm addressing an audience that's not interested in credit cards, and I'm building my TAM. I'm making them interested in credit cards. Second thing is topical content. I made a reel on at the end of January for Valentine's Day. Hey, here's how you can get a trip, how you can get a luxury bag and a trip for your friend using this card. So not friend, like girlfriend or partner. But so topical content, and then link it to what works in mass market. Like my top 3 or 4 reels, actually, you know what? 5 reels probably gave me 70% of the followers I have today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just that gold reel got me 180,000 followers.
180,000 followers from one
I'll
reel?
show you the stats. Yeah. So 5 reels got me 400k followers.
Everyone's thinking, I gotta get those 5 somehow.
Yeah. So if I put out 120 reels, 5 reels got me 80% of the followers I have. Because the reach on those 5 reels was about 50 million in total. So that is where you have to find topical content, relatable content, make it fun, make the hook good, and then make it easy to understand. And that's very hard to do in the credit card space.
Amazing.
For all of those things.
That's the formula from that credit card guy for us all here. So let's do a fun rapid fire, Ali. Ready? So when you went from 20k followers to 600k followers, just from December to April, 4 months mein, what was the feeling?
That feeling is nice that you're getting recognized. That's a great feeling. But the biggest feeling is that, like, you know, when somebody talks to you and says, hey, I got this card because of you and I'm staying here for free too.
Yeah. All right. What was the first credit card you ever owned?
I have a banking relationship with Axis Bank. So I got an Axis Neo credit card, their first free credit card. I upgraded that to the top end cards until the Magnus and so on.
And how many credit cards do you have right now?
So every year I check my credit card portfolio and cancel the ones that I'm not going to use.
Portfolio. You're a portfolio guy, so we know what we're looking
10
at
or 11
now.
credit cards
10 or 11.
I
Okay.
used. I cancelled about 4 of them. So right now
Okay.
I use 7, but my daily drivers are maybe 2.
Are you allowed to tell me which ones?
So my daily drivers, number 1, I use the Access Atlas. I also use my Times Black card, ICICI Times Black,
Okay.
to hit the milestones. Do a separate conversation on that, but I really like that card for 4x and things like that. Other cards I have are the Tata Neo Infinity. That is just for like Tata spends here and there. I have an Amex card, the MRCC, specifically for my fuel spends. So specific spends ke liye, I keep one card only for sometimes that I like. The MRCC sits in my wallet. It sits in my car. It's not in my wallet. It's just in the car dashboard. These 2 cards are the ones I use as my daily driver.
Okay, so one creator you secretly stalk for inspiration?
If it's a secret,
it's not secret anymore.
Yeah, but 2 creators I probably look up to are Sarthak Ahuja, just for his business content, and I'm big on business and I love all of his content. Second is probably Nikhil Kamath, not really a creator, but like he is branching into that with the podcast.
I agree.
Those 2
I
for
would
sure.
actually agree with both of them. I myself do that. One guilty pleasure spend.
I spend an obscene amount of money on luxury sunglasses. Like I have 15 pairs of sunglasses. I don't know why, I just like sunglasses.
Any use case you've seen of people using their credit card wrong in your view? Whatever's wrong?
So many. Like just what comes top of mind is somebody asking me, hey, I've overspent on my credit card. Can I pay my credit card with another credit card? Technically, you can. You can remove another credit card balance through maybe a wallet application. They charge you 3% on and then pay the bill through that. But you are just gonna get stuck into a loop if you do that excessively.
Any one feature that you wish more credit cards had?
Airline transfer programs. A big bank like ICICI Bank doesn't have enough transfer programs. I'm sure they're coming out with them. Only HDFC, Axis, HSBC now has more transfer programs. This is such a common thing in the West, in the US, and we are going to mimic them. And banks are going to get more transfer partners, and that's going to blow up the system even more. So many more opportunities.
Will you ever launch a credit card of your own?
Yes. Maybe.
Okay.
But that's,
I feel like we stumbled onto something here.
Yeah, so that's something that we want to do. When I say we, it's the broader company that we have. But it's at least a year or 2 down the line.
Yeah. How do you describe your relationship with Sharan?
We're friends, we're business partners, and we love nerding out about how we can grow this. I used to keep asking him, and that's where I got the idea from. And he told me, I'm like, how do people care about credit cards? He's like, no, they don't care about credit cards. They care about getting free stuff.
Getting free stuff.
Or they care about the aspirational life.
Correct.
But that's where we have to curb and manage that, hey, to get that aspirational life, it's not just getting the card. You have to spend on the card to earn the points.
Yes. Actually, I think what you guys are doing are saying ki tum spend to kar hi rahe ho. Why not do it
That
through
is
this
what we
credit
try to
card
say. Yes.
and then get some points which you will further use for other benefits.
I tell you, you spend 20K a month, spend 20K a month only. Spend 15K a month, but spend it on a credit card.
So we want this kind of free stuff, guys. We have to go watch reels, buy that credit card guy. Most fun reel you've shot so far?
Probably 2. One was that Valentine's Day reel that I shot where I talked about how you can buy a bag for your wife and also get a trip free.
Wow.
That was
guys
fun.
would have been like, bag bhi ho jayega, trip is for me.
So it was a fun reel to shoot. And second is one of my favorite travel content creators, Akanksha Monga. She does great travel content and there is synergy between credit cards and travel. So we just caught up one day, did a quick travel and credit card reel.
It was really good.
So it's fun when you collab with people in another space and like mix 2 things together.
So do you think influencers are jealous of each other? Is there a feeling that audience the same hai, they're eating into my thing, or can you be good friends with other influencers?
There's a mix of both.
One myth about credit cards that needs to go.
That credit cards are a debt trap. Credit cards are not a debt trap. Credit cards are not bad for you. Poor usage of credit cards are what is bad for you.
Okay, so now we'll go really fast. Okay, the weirdest DM you've received after a video.
A girl messaged me once actually saying, am I your type? And she sent me a screenshot of her CIBIL score.
So So she thinks that the type
Yeah.
is defined by civil score because
Yeah.
it's that.
I'm pretty
credit
sure
card
it was a
guy.
joke, but it was funny. Yeah.
But yeah, that's smart as well. A creator, no, I was going to say you secretly binge watch, but it won't be a secret anymore. But yeah, a creator you secretly binge watch.
Creator I secretly binge watch is MKBHD.
Yeah?
He is a tech YouTube creator who
Okay.
reviews tech products, and I do have that innate tech gaming gadget influencer. Like I love that.
Yeah.
So I watch a lot of
Nice.
his content.
One topic you still get nervous talking about,
Personal finance.
apart from girlfriend or wife or marriage, but yeah.
Personal finance, like although I think it's great to share my journey
Yeah.
of growth, of how you can start in one stream, get into another one, move into another one, how your financial trajectory can grow massively over years of just smart usage. But then I still get, I want to share it, but I don't want that whole nazar concept that's
Oh.
there.
If you could swap your channel with any creator for a day, which one would it be?
Again, I'll just say MKBHD
Yeah?
because I would love to review all the tech gadgets he has in his
Yeah.
studio.
So your 3 most used apps.
So one is probably my stockbroking apps. I personally use Paytm Money to
Okay.
manage my stocks.
Okay.
Second is apps to track my credit card points
Okay.
and things like. There's a app in the US called a Word Wallet, so I use that to
Ah,
track my points. And then
interesting.
obviously Cred Check, all of these apps to pay your credit card bills. So I
Yeah.
use that. And third is literally ChatGPT. Like I
Ah.
cannot stop using ChatGPT for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It's become like a lifeline at this point.
Okay, India or abroad? Where would you like to settle?
Initially, it was always abroad, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm building something
Yeah.
for India, in India. So I definitely choose India. And I do feel like the next growth story is here.
And what do you love about being in India?
What do I love about being in India? Just the massive opportunity that we
Yeah.
have to grow
Yeah.
as just, especially in the finance industry.
Yeah.
And the credit card penetration and
Yes,
the first
bang on.
movers advantage
Yeah.
and how that's going to grow
Yeah.
and how now banks are going to get more air mile transfers
Yeah.
and different benefits. So I feel that it's an upward trajectory from here.
I lived in London for 10 years, and then when we moved here, for Rohan and myself, the energy in India and the hustle is just amazing.
Yeah.
Because you don't get this abroad. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, 5 baje ke baad phone mat karna. Here people are like, dhande ki baat hai."
Yeah,
So,
very much. Business is huge.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, best thing about being on the Bad podcast,
Working
apart
with
from being with
Yes,
me.
obviously. Swati is amazing. But just working so closely with you and the team over the last 1 year and then finally doing this with you has been amazing. Honestly, EarnKaro has been a huge part of how we plan our go-to-market going forward. So I think
Excellent.
whatever you're building is amazing and I want to work with you in whatever way I can. So for sure.
On it, yes. All right, that's all we have time for today. Although we would love to keep chatting with Ali, been one of my favorite conversations so far. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
So all of you out there, hope you enjoyed this content. Use the tips to make your own content go viral. Get a credit card, and we've got so many recommendations for you right here. Plus, you've seen how Ali and team have used EarnKaro, CashKaro to use affiliate links, do the monetization, and make some extra income while providing such good, amazing content to all of you. So until next time, make sure you go check this out.